So hi everybody and welcome back. This is the review of very interesting work that I made together with the guy of KMP Production, Andrea. This is a company working about modeling stuff in 3D print, This is the newest technology we have available to build up some very special items that are not so neither easy to scratch build, and this particular subject was an Italian tractor produced in the 30s. Between the 30s and the early 50s, was one of the small tractors, like in some way today you can have with the Kubota, that type of mini tractor, not real working machine, not real powerful tractor, but incredibly useful because they are track linked. This version was also available with wheels, and it was able to pull some light charges in the back, and the model is awesome. And I already made a video, I think just in Italian, that video where I presented the kit. Now I would like you to show this also in English. I'd like to help Andrea with this new subject. Hold on. And here we go. This is one of the first issues that he did, and I think it's also available if you ask to the company to have the parts cleaned. Every time that you are dealing with 3D stuff is always a challenge, and many modelers are a little bit scared by the part where you have to clean the original mold. So you have to study carefully which is the part that you have to say, and you have to cut apart all the sprues coming from the 3D printing machine. It is all this stuff down here. It's not so difficult to work at all. It's enough that you study carefully the picture and the part. This model comes with a PDF instruction. You still cannot see it. It's still missing in this box. I take 3 of them now. The instruction sheet and a very, very little tiny decal sheet. Decal sheet is something like 5 markings, because we decided it was better to produce the Milano, Motomeccanica and Balilla for the front end made in decal. We are dealing with something that is 9mm wide, so it's extremely tiny, and it was not possible, at least on this mold, to do a decent Balilla writing on the front end. It's absolutely very well detailed. Also, as you can see, there is the separate track link available for both the sides, and it's a little bit scary to work it because you have to clean all the parts. The track links are down there, so the biggest work, as we said, is just to clean those parts. But if you go a little slightly, the idea when you clean this type of parts, I think Andrea is going to make a video. I wanted to do it also, a video, a simple tutorial where you can explain to people how to clean those parts. But it's quite easy because it's enough that you take away these 2 protection label on the side. Each sprue have this protection aside to avoid to smash the parts between the others, and then you cut little by little. I use a very slow speed Dremel to cut under the main part of the sprue, and then little by little you separate each part. It's a little annoying work, and as many companies do, I think also Andrea, under request and probably after some money, he can also provide for a cleaning version of a cleaning service for the parts, but it's absolutely not so complicated at all as it looks. Always remember that you are dealing with extremely tiny parts, so these are extremely tiny, and the resin from the 3D cast is always a little bit crispy, so it's absolutely easy to make a damage. It's also absolutely easy to fix it with ordinary super glue, so it's nothing so special. There is also the front cowl that can be showed open because there is the full engine provided there, and as well as you can see, there is the main propeller for the radiator. Extremely detailed. The front grille you cannot see from here, but this one is completely holed and opened. very easy to work with this stuff, you know. And what you don't have here is an idea on how tiny the item became when it is completed. And when it is completed, basically we are dealing with something. Let me see if I found here a ruler to show you the dimension of the stuff, you know. So we are dealing with something that, as you see, is slightly over 6 centimeter. Neither that, neither that, neither that. So taking the dimension for this diorama that I made to present the item, you know, I used a figure, a resin figure, modified from I think it was SMA company, you know, with a different head from Hornet, and it is a figure in 1/35 scale to have the proportion on how it was the real object, you know. So it was slightly longer than a figure, 2.5 meters, something like that, you know. And I built up this model without any instruction, and as it sounds a little bit extreme, it is absolutely not, because it's quite easy. I just had a couple of pictures of the unassembly parts, so you can easily understand with a couple of pictures where all the part goes. It was a little bit maybe complicated to finish the exhaust area there in the engine, where you can see the motor, but about the main roller parts and so on, it was absolutely not complicated at all, as well as was not complicated to do the track link. You know, it's very good that KMP provides about 10 extra links for the track links. So if you break something, because they are also meant to be workable, you know, we are dealing with something that is a workable resin track link of 3 millimeter, something like that. Yeah. So, and they are workable. So when you prepare this stuff, I placed the picture in my social media of this stuff when I was building it up. It is like a little chain, you know. It seems like the track links provided by Friul Modellismo. It also provided the logo of the, I hope that you can see with my telephone, you know, on the front end of the radiator there is a micro tattoo like the Jaguar symbol, you know, that is a figure there. Very detailed, you know. So these are actually 1, 2, 3 parts over the 4th radiator parts. I painted it with a technique that is coming from the Warhammer way. So you basically painted the deep dark with a dark gray flat, and overall I placed the 4 layers of green to keep it in the proper color, plus pigments on the roller track links. You see there is also the details of the inner motion wheel in the back, and I'm still missing just the decal, you know. As we said, we are missing some Motomeccanica logo for the engine cowl, and the Milano logo for the fuel tanker, and the Balilla logo for the front end, but it's basically done and complete. There was some extra parts, I think I saved them here, as you can see. These are basically bolts and even micro detail that I didn't use, some double, you see there was the double starting lever down there, the double exhaust line, just in case you mess up while cleaning the parts during the process that I just explained to you. But I think absolutely this is a must, and of course you can use like an Italian vehicle, you know, use it in every kind of condition, you know. This was a small vehicle, used in Africa, used in Russia, used all over, you know. Was instead of the donkeys, was something that we had all over. There is several pictures of this one. Pulling, of course, a little trailers like the small guns or small machine guns or the Breda gun, that was something that very often was just pulled by humans or by animals, so it's not something able to pull a heavy load like a big gun and so on of the artillery, but is something that you can absolutely place in a very tiny and cute diorama of Italian stuff of the Second World War. The proposal was not to build up a military vehicle, despite I made it in green. Nearly all the pictures that I had, they were all rusty color or green, so I made it in this version, and as I say, with a figure beside that explain how it looks when it is complete for the proportions. You know, ecco, the only stuff that I had that was not present, of course, in the model was the wiring of the 4-cylinder sparks. You see that there is inside there is the sparks coming from the engine head, That was the only detail that I added, more than the box, Otherwise, is we dare to say strictly out of the box. So everything you need is inside here. Also the price that Andrea sell these items, just ask him and check his website. The website is there. This is a commercial for him, but I deeply suggest to take it, because this is in the line of Model Victoria stuff or Brack model items, so they were incredibly well and delicious subjects for Italian lovers of the Italian vehicles of the Second World War. And first of all, very very important, is in 135 scale. For now, this is in 135. Then of course, when you make the stuff in 3D, you can also improve the scale, so it can be made also, I think, asking to the company, also in 132, in 124, in 118, depending from the scale that you desire. I think if you contact the company, also, we can explain you if it is possible to do the same stuff, because anyway the project is anyway done. So this is a file that he made also in a very reasonable time, so I think it's absolutely great stuff in there. Exactly. So this is my review, KMP. The name of this is Trattore Agricolo Motomeccanica Milano Balilla, and it is the track linked version, because as we said in the beginning, there was also the wheel version that for now is still not in production. So maybe in the future could it be done. It's quite easy to modify this vehicle in the wheeled version. That's it. I hope you like the video, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next.